With a new offensive coordinator this year, we got to talk about the secret weapons that are developing on the fringe and in the dark shadows of the Seahawks offensive room. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show bringing you daily content all year long. That means off-season, in-season, and if there's an in-between season, we got you covered with daily content. If you want to hit the follow, like, subscribe, all those are great YouTube buttons that you're more than welcome to hit. If not, no worries. It's a free YouTube show. That means I will be here every single day, all day, blathering on about things like Jalen Milroe and his chance to show some development this year and why there might be some interesting wrinkles that feature him specifically and allow him to spread his wings, if you will. Big on bird metaphors. Going to always try and really be ham-fisted in the delivery of all of our bird visualizations. Same as got to be sometimes ham-fisted in our advertising. But we got to say a huge thank you, though, to Prize Picks, the sponsor for today's video. They're hooking it up right now for all the Digest listeners out there. If you use the code DIGEST, D-I-G-E-S-T, when signing up for Prize Picks, which is America's #1 sports pick app, you get $50. New users get $50 when playing your first $5 in your lineup. Code Digest on Prize Picks. Okay. QB2, QB3, Jalen Milroe. Great college player. I'm assuming most of you, if you are a big enough football degenerate that you're watching a Seahawks YouTube show, that you probably watched some of his film in college. Shows up in the NFL. I think that the Seahawks, they showed more than a passing interest. This was not an undrafted free agent signing. This was a guy that they took a draft pick on, a mid-round draft pick, but nonetheless, that could have been an offensive lineman. That could have been a backup safety. That could have been another da-da-da-da. So they decided to spend a draft asset on a quarterback. Now, Sam Darnold shows up, obviously balls the heck out and is going to be QB1 for the foreseeable future. So I don't think we're talking about a QB competition, but there are some thoughts going out there, different levels of thoughts about ways to get Milroe involved and what his potential ceiling is. But I like the chirping. Let's talk about the limitations first that I saw in this article. Just because that's what chronologically they brought up. Let's get the bad out of the way. Then we'll talk about the good. The big thing is going to be his passing mid to longer down the field is not the level of elite that Darnold and other top-tier NFL pros exhibit on a day-to-day basis in a way that allows them to be 4,000 yards, bunch of touchdowns, winning Super Bowls, winning MVPs, being those kinds of guys, being Drew Brees, whatever you want to say, whoever your preferred passer is. But just because he has some limitations and has a QB ahead of him doesn't mean there aren't opportunities to figure out ways to get him involved in an offense. This article later brings up, to me, what was a really interesting little core nugget, and that's the RPO. Talking about how Fleury is maybe a little bit more dynamic than Kubiak, a little bit more adventurous, interested in some other things that could maybe expand the explosive home run ball type vibes that the Seahawks have with their offense. And so, Shaheed, Jadarian Price, Jalen Milroe, RPO. Interesting. Not something that I had initially considered. For me, a lot of the talk about changeover from offensive coordinators, especially after winning a Super Bowl, I was liking where Macdonald was saying he's going to do a lot of the same. He's a guy really cut from the same cloth. So maybe I had gotten a little bit too focused on just okay, we're not going to try and reinvent the wheel here, but taking some of those wrinkles where it's hey, we've got the established core, but then we've got young playmakers. So why just sit them 2, 3, 4 on the depth chart and just keep doing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If we can do the, a 90-10, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, to then also 3rd and 3. what do you say we run this little thing out there that the opposing team hasn't seen all season or has only seen once or twice this year and then isn't really fully prepped for where's this gone? Or at least, a nice little chunk forward, keep them honest, keep them on their toes. If you're getting, if you're getting Milroe out there in that context versus just being like, okay, we're up 3 touchdowns, garbage time, go in there, don't turn the ball over, don't really throw, don't do it. Like if he's doing things where the adrenaline's pumping a little bit and the game is moving at like full game speed and not at garbage time game speed, that's actual growth for Milroe. Because I think you got to assume, even with Darnold being where he's at in terms of he's 29, he'll be 30 this season. He's got a couple of good years left potentially in the NFL, that you would think that right now Milroe is the future, whether the future is 2 years from now or if it is 5 years from now, maybe he is somebody else's future, but he is somebody who's projected to continue to grow and improve and get better at the NFL quarterback position. So somebody that I think is worth investing some time and some effort and some actual develop some situations and wrinkles in the offense for him. Just my thoughts. Curious to know what you guys think. Before we get out of here, got to say thank you again to the sponsor for today's video, Prize Picks. They're hooking it up right now. New users, if you're signing up for the first time for America's #1 sports pick app, and you use the code DIGEST, you'll get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 in lineup. They got a bunch of different promotions going on right now that are awesome. The Scary Hours boost, they're applying that to all of the remaining NBA Finals games. Might be tonight that the Knicks end up bringing it home. Maybe you're a Wemby guy. Plenty of options and opportunities to get in on all of that game. The Flex Fridays are back. 40% boost for your payouts if you use your Flex Fridays. And then finally, who doesn't love Taco Tuesdays? Prize Picks loves Taco Tuesdays. All period, day, period, long period. Every Tuesday, their board is serving up discounted projections. Like I said, Prize Picks hooking it up for all of you Digest listeners. Code DIGEST when you sign up for America's #1 sports pick app. All right, there we go. That's what I got on Jalen Milroe. Curious to know your guys' thoughts. It's all good. Every headline that I come back with all off season feels like it's nothing but good news and good hypotheticals and good vibes for the defending champs. So excited to have you guys bring in some more of those good vibes. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, dislike, comment, share, all other YouTube buttons that you are more than welcome to hit if you're already pressing buttons. Talk to you guys next time.